Let's see if this shit can work. Oh, it appears like it almost may be working, ladies and germs. If you don't know me by now, you know I'm forced to buy Apple products. If you don't know, Apple products are the worst product ever built. Ever, 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 ever. And I'll let you get 500 friends to back you up as you debate me. What are you scared of? Example. Apple stole the name of the corporation even from a little band called the Beatles. You should look more into that. Apple Computers, the most corrupt company in the history of mankind, but you keep believing that because everyone said the earth is flat. You said it's got to be flat. Everybody wouldn't say it was flat. And then you find out later it wasn't so flat. Please, people, learn from the past. That's all I ask. The human race is incompetent beyond all comprehension. I did a diary, and of course, none of the 8-minute diary or whatever it was recorded because it's an Apple. That's only one of 700 glitches so far in the first couple months of owning this piece of garbage. I don't even want to record again. Apple just destroys everything I build. It destroys. And you people still believe, well, maybe there's something wrong with yours. Because it's 2015 and you humans still refuse to doubt corporate America. No, I don't. I doubt corporate America. No, you don't. Stop lying to yourselves. Now let's get back to me. Dear Diary, this is a tragic story about the time I hosted the Upright Citizens Brigade's Ass Cat improvised show on Sunday nights. It was a very popular show, always sold out. Great show. They'd improvise with their friends, and they'd have guest monologists, celebrities, movie stars, TV stars, lesser-known comics. And I was very flattered when they asked me. I'm notable mostly for my politics, not really my other stuff. That's what I'm infamous for in New York, is politics. And so, what the fuck? So, I was invited to host it. Amy Poehler introduced me on stage as their first RIKERS alumni, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know what the word alumni meant. There's many things you humans know that I don't, because it's garbage that I never entered into my head, because it didn't need to be in my head. All the shit you've been brainwashed since birth, and you slowly realize, as you get to be 30 and 40, you slowly realize, wait a minute, maybe a lot of what I've been told is bullshit. Maybe what a lot of society believes is bullshit. That's correct. You are correct. Now, at the time, you have to remember, this was years back, I was very asocial. I was not even allowed to talk to people unless I had to. And also didn't drink booze or smoke pot at the time, which is my two biggest mistakes of my life. Do not ever avoid alcohol. It's maybe the greatest invention by man, ever. Arguably, right after the bicycle. So, I was invited to host. Now, I don't do improv. I'm not particularly good at any of those things. My brain, even when I was sober, my brain is, I'm a genius, but I'm not. I'm only a genius, relatively speaking, because we're putting me against people like Einstein, who was wrong about every scientific theory he put out. Look it up. I'm only considered a genius because I have no competition. The human race is lazy as can be physically, lazy as can be intellectually, and lazy ethically. So, it's a lonely, lonely place at the top here, Integrity Mountain. And so I was not able to... Oh, so before the show, it's crowded, the crowd's coming in, they're all loosening up. I don't drink, and I wouldn't even hang out with them in the dressing room or talk to them. Very cold of me. It wasn't meant to be cold. It's for everybody's protection. Most people will tell you I make their brains think too much, and it hurts, hurts, hurts. So, and I understand that and sympathize with that. What is that they say about ignorance? So, I was scheduled to do monologues for the entire show. Now, what they normally do is they start with an audience suggestion. Now, what I had seen in the past, because I had gone to a lot of these shows because they were really good, they would cheer me up. I'd be living in New York City, which is flat out the dumbest place on earth, and you can say, that's exaggeration. I'll let you have 500 friends back you up, 500 experts, whatever you want to call. You're 500 people versus me. New York City are the dumbest people on earth. No one even comes close. If that sounds like hyperbole, then step forward, coward, and debate me. You don't know jack shit about jack shit, you fucking lemming. Now let's get back to our story, which is that I had seen other people like Ginny Garofalo and them, when they had hosted, they had gone into their regular material, which I thought was cheating since it was kind of an improvised show. I could understand why they would go to their planned out material, make sure the show's... The most important thing is that the show should be fun for the audience. Whether it's has integrity or not is a secondary issue, I agree. However, my integrity is excessive. Don't ever be like me, boys and girls. Don't ever. Integrity is the greatest agony that could exist. So, the opening comment for me was they said somebody yelled out luggage. Now, I hated that suggestion. I don't have anything interesting to say about luggage, and I'm certainly not going to tie it in with baggage, which is cheap humor going back to the 1500s. So they said, somebody yelled out luggage, and I said, well, one of the things I love about America, ladies and gentlemen, is the freedom of choice, and I believe I'm going to choose to take a second suggestion from the audience. And then the uprights stopped me, and they said, no, you can't do that. You got to go with luggage. I'm like, all right, you asked for it. I have nothing interesting to say about luggage. But again, you have to remember, I was super sober back then, much more serious. Well, I was still a ridiculous person, but only in certain settings. So I was not my fun self there, because I felt I had to be honest with myself, and I think they thought I was fucking with them. I'm probably in their books as one of the worst, if not the worst, host to ever host the monologues. And I don't know if I ever spoke to them about it and explained my side. Maybe I wrote a letter. I don't remember. I know I certainly didn't speak to them about it because, again, I was not allowed to talk to people unless I had no choice. And so the luggage thing went very badly, but then the uprights and their friends who were improvising with them, I don't think Tina Fey was there that night. I wish. I was going to date her. And when she was hot, she was a little chubbier back then. Oh, baby. So they handled it very well, my shitty intro story. And then when I kept being brought up again, I was... it was almost like I was being difficult. I wasn't trying to be difficult, but I had to stick with my own integrity. So it was like a little arch, but it wasn't. But that's how it appeared, probably. At intermission, Matt Besser, one of the 4 founding members of UCB, was ready to punch me in the face. He was very angry. But then later, I think it was after that, he did say to me, maybe months later or something, he says, we want to help you against Giuliani's surveillance system. At the show, I believe Ian Roberts did say to me, he said, you are the first guy I ever saw go after Giuliani. Because at this point, lots of people were slamming Giuliani because I'm way ahead of the class, always. Which is not somewhere you want to be, unless you're a gambler. So, almost wrapping our story up here, ladies and gentlemen. Shit, 8:15, fuck. I know, I'm not the best storyteller. I will not deny that. I'm very good at lots of things, and storytelling is not one thing I am good at. I can admit my flaws, and you should be able to admit your flaws as well, people. I have no interest in getting better at it. I try, I guess, a little bit. So, in final synopsis, what happened? So the show was actually really fun. Even when I was lame, which was mostly, they took whatever I said and turned it into comedy gold. It was beautiful. But I never did get to apologize to them, I don't think, or explain my side of the story. And since I'm going to go down the history books again, smeared a million different ways up and down, being misunderstood every which way but loose, I wanted to encapsulate my version of why I was one of the worst hosts they've ever seen. I generally don't even like being a host. Even in my own shows, I wouldn't like being a host. But a lot of people would say, you're a good host. I'm like, no, I'm not. I mean, I'm good in the sense that I care about where the audience is feeling and if they're all comfortable and make sure everything's running smoothly. I'm a great stage manager. Not as good a host. Don't like hosting, really. Love stage managing. So I apologize to the Upright Citizens Brigade. And also keep in mind, when you read history books, ladies and germs, it's almost all errors, mistakes, distortions. You should have learned that all by yourself. Didn't they teach everybody that game Telephone, where you tell this next person the story? Well, nobody can get it right. all news in the papers is second-hand usually or third-hand reporting. That means it can't be right. Even if the journalists were honest, and there aren't many honest journalists. They're all puppets who want to get paid to do whatever they're fucking told to write. You don't want, even when they're honest, the journalists can't get it right. And it's rare that they're honest. And I say that as somebody who's had 17 pieces so far on me in the New York Times. 0 fact-checked. What are the chances of that? Again, of course, don't take my word for it. If the New York Times can't even hire a proofreader, and their issues every day prove that, you think they can hire a fact-checker? Again, all history is garbage, people. All wrong. All wrong. And again, I'm sorry, Upright Citizens Brigade. I still love you guys. One of the only groups I actually loved, and respected immensely. Is there anything I'm forgetting? Have a nice day.